be sure to check in on the mobile app. So we have a mobile app for 1 million cups. You can download it on the library's Wi-Fi right now, nice and fast. And once you get that mobile app, go ahead and register and let us know that you're here. That's one way for us to keep attendance and let people know and put you on our mailing list. And it's another way for you to offer feedback to our presenter, who I am now ready to finally present. So please welcome to our stage for 6 minutes, John Adams from Lug Nutz, Do-It-Yourself Auto Repair. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for having me on this chilly morning. Hopefully it'll get warmer this end of the week. I just want to come and present my business, which is an open business right now. It's not a concept. It's actually working. Called Lug Nutz, Do-It-Yourself Auto Repair. Lug Nutz is what is Lug Nutz? Lug Nutz is a do-it-yourself auto repair facility where you can come and repair your car yourself with lifts, all the tools, all the specialty tools you need, all the presses and spring presses and parts cleaners and all that stuff you need to do most repairs to your vehicle, cars and motorcycles. We have a mechanic on staff to set your car on the lifts, which is the dangerous part. Everybody, I know the first question I'll get after this presentation will be about insurance. We have a mechanic there to make sure you're safe. He sets your car or motorcycle on the lift so it is safe, and then helps you work very efficiently and safely on your vehicle so you can save money and use your hours the best you can. Business is a little bit about me. I'm from Columbia. I grew up in Shandon. I live 2 doors down from where I grew up right now. I love Shandon. I love Columbia. So spent a lot of time here, most of my life here. Went to Heathwood Hall Episcopal High School, College of Charleston, and then moved back here and became a realtor for about 15 years. After that, I worked for Canty Foundation Specialist. You may have heard the commercial or seen some of their commercials. Great company out of Camden as a salesperson or a specialist, if you will. And then I realized after crawling under about 900 houses in 3 years, I'm getting old. And so I've got to figure something out. So I read about 5 years previous to last year, I read an article about this concept, of the do-it-yourself auto repair concept out of California. Not even a franchise, just individual shops were opening up in California about 5 years ago. And I filed it. I thought it was a really interesting concept, but then I filed it somewhere in my head. And then I started thinking about my future a little bit at Canty, and great company, like you said, a physical job I didn't want to really take until I was 50 or 60 or 70. So started digging in a little bit and wondering if somebody has ever done this concept again. I haven't seen it, and turns out there is not one of these in the surrounding 3 states. There's the closest one is in Virginia Beach, going west. The closest one that I can find on the internet, at least, is in Denver. So, but the do-it-yourself auto repair and home repair and a lot of things is a trending thing. So I started reading in a little bit, digging a little bit about it, realized that this is a viable concept if you do it right. If you do it big enough, you can actually make money doing this. Spent some time sort of getting my head right on it and creating a concept on paper, and then started developing this concept the way I wanted to do it. There are other ones that were done certain ways, but that's not really the way I wanted to see it. So started to develop the concept just on paper, and when in the time that I had when I wasn't working, and then got to the point where I needed funding to do it. I was ready to go. I needed funding. Thankfully, found some private funding. It's not a cheap business to start, but we were able to get started, and I was able to find the funding I needed. About 95% of it was private funding, a little bit at a bank to get a small equity line. So I made that big jump to quit my job and pay myself out of my investment money, which is a hard thing to do because you're jumping off a cliff, basically. But, as Steve Harvey says, you can't fly unless you jump. So I jumped and quit my job at Canty. Everybody thought I was a little nutty. But when they came to what I started and they see it, they understand it. It's not your typical garage. It is a clean facility that is, this is what it looks like. It is a clean facility that is set up for your consumption, not for a mechanic. It's not dirty. It's not a mean mechanic there telling you you're dumb because you don't know what you're doing. It's a very inviting environment. We have a mechanic on staff all the time that is a great guy. I got really super lucky with him, and he is really into it. He's very much into the concept and is ready for it to expand as fast as we can. We're only about a little less than 3 months old as far as our doors being open, so we're still in the infinite stages, obviously. The future of this company is, I hope that the idea and the customers will understand how much money they can save and how much of a great place it can be. The big picture, the end-all, be-all goal I have is to have maybe 5, 10 of these around the Southeast open as an owner of those, and then maybe franchise it out from there. Have not even, that's not sort of in the clouds right now. The daily stuff is what I work on every day, but hopefully that's where we'll get. Why you do it yourself? There, like I said, there's no other place like this around in the Southeast, really, which is a great thing for me, because it's not like another burger joint. I'm the only one, which is a kind of cool thing. But then there also is a lot of educational and discovery that needs to happen too. It's like, kind of what is a burger? Well, what is a do-it-yourself place? So the community needs this. I believe the market research I did was very street level. If you are doing your repairs in your garage or your driveway or on an uneven pavement or in the yard and dirt or wherever you're doing it, it's going to be unsafe. This is a very safe way to repair your car and do it yourself. And in an enclosed facility, so you can do it rain or shine or cold or hot or whatever. It's very affordable. We've calculated over the last 2.5 months, we have calculated or estimated about $40,000 has been saved so far with the customers we've had so far, in just auto repair, because they did it themselves and had no other, or they had to use somebody else, had no other choice. Now they have a choice and they can save money. One in particular person YouTubed everything that he did for 5 hours and was able to change his brake pads, his rotors, his struts, his hubs, his shocks on his Escalade, 2012 Escalade. The difference in the Cadillac price, Cadillac dealership price, which is the only person that would do it, and what he spent was about $3,000 difference. So he saved in 5 hours $3,000. So those are great, and that's only one of many stories. I have a guy came the other day that did a $300 repair estimated, and he did it in 30 minutes for $65, parts included. So those are, he saved a significant amount of money, and just because he was scared to do it. And it was basically almost 2 bolts and he was done. So there's a lot of repairs you can do that you don't realize you can do. I know cars are intimidating, but they don't have to be. So there's a lot of education and that I need to do to show how much money can be saved. I know I skipped around a little bit here. It's a facility. We do have some oil and fluids, wipers, batteries, that kind of thing for sale in our retail section. Anyway, that's our business. I've got a lot more information I can't put in 6 minutes. I don't know what my timing is like. But, okay, I'm done. I could talk forever. It's my passion. So anyway, this is much information. If you have any questions, please.